Thanks for watching. If you're watching this in the future, uh, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be finishing this hat that I'm making. Don't have a whole lot left to do on it. I'm just putting a liner in. Where's the end? I should have had this cut and ready to go. I don't like to do very much at one time, like, a couple, few feet. This is artificial sinew, and it's really tough stuff. It's good for sewing leather. I've made a few hats with this stuff. I like to split it, use half, using a big carpet needle for this. I tie it just because I don't want to mess with it. Like a weak fishing knot. Not one that I would be happy with fishing, but works for this. And at the other end, I just make a little knot. I'm not like an expert at sewing, but I make stuff that holds together. It's just almost ready to go. And we're just tying this up. I don't know if I'll have a finished hat here tonight or tomorrow. Hey, Michael. So I have a little spot here I have to attach or finish. And then I got to put a liner on these ear flaps. I don't speak Spanish, so you're going to have to. I'm assuming that's some kind of, well, Spanish or something. I'm not familiar with your language. No, I'm not a mountain man. I live in northwestern Pennsylvania, like Great Lakes region. But I trap and I hunt and all that good stuff. I'm Kaycee. Brogan. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, I've been on YouTube for about 8 years. I never I don't intend this to be like a job. I mean that would be cool, but like realistically speaking, that's probably not in the cards for me. But it's just something I do. Stealth the Pro. Can you be a mod? I don't have any mods, and I'm not really looking for mods right now. I don't really live stream that often. I'm finishing up a hat that I'm making. But yeah, I just gotta I gotta get this tied off here. Yeah, I it's neat when it's like your own stuff. Like I went out. This was I don't know if I got this fisher on film, like if it's part of a video or not. I can't remember. I caught this fisher. I skinned it. I scraped it. I did everything. I tanned it at home, and now I'm making it into a hat. So that's always kind of neat. Can you buy some? Uh, buy a hat? I don't. I haven't sold any hats. I've only ever made three. Raccoon would be the easiest thing for me to acquire, but uh, I don't like sewing raccoon. It sucks. They have fairly thick leather. Actually, I gotta. And I don't have a pattern for this ear flap because I made it with the hind leg of the fisher. So I kind of have to eyeball and guess. And I don't want to take my scissors in there. So we're going to go like that. And you want to cut when you, if you're going to do this yourself, whatever you're going to line the hat with, when you cut your piece of liner, you want it to be bigger than this because you're going to fold the edge like that and then sew into the fold. And that strengthens it and makes it look nice. And again, I'm not like an expert at this. I don't do this very often. Like I said, I've only made a few hats. And the one, it sucks. Have I ever made a deer leather jacket? No. I don't really mess around. I've tanned some deer. I've made one deer into buckskin and used the leather for different things. But I don't really mess around with deer much because like it's just a lot of work for like a guy just doing this every now and then. If I was doing it every day, yeah, I would make buckskin for sure. But deer, like it depends on like the thickness. Yes, I hunt. Like everything I've ever tanned was something that I killed or a friend gave me to tan. Um, the thickness of the leather on the animal it will determine how easy it is, depending on like what tools you have available. If I had like uh, machines that like worked the leather as it dried from the tanning process, like I could do cows and stuff, no problem. But like for me to do a cow with minimal tools, hand tools, stuff like that, that's a lot of work. Not that deer have leather that's as thick as a cow, but to keep it soft, yeah, it's to get it soft, it's a lot of work. Hey, what's up? Long time no talk. And again, like it doesn't have to be pretty how you cut it out because you're folding it anyways. And I actually maybe I didn't mess this up too bad. No, No, I didn't. Okay, I cut that one out while the back was facing towards me. So the next one I have to do the opposite with. Actually, this one may actually fit this. Yeah, this one fits better, maybe. So what we could do is lay that in there. We're gonna just cheat and copy it. So, like, if you if a person was interested in trapping, like, if you're gonna determine if you're gonna be good at it or not, you need to like go out and like track stuff. Like, how far can you follow a fox in the snow? Can you stay on that animal's path even if it goes onto a deer trail? Like Steve Ranella, he says that trapping is just advanced sign reading. And I think it's a little bit more than that. You need like animal behavior and stuff, but it it does come down to that a lot of the times. Like you just need to, out of millions and millions of square miles, you're trying to get an animal to step on a spot that's that big. So it helps if you know where stuff's gonna be at certain times of the year. Well, when they're in season and stuff. And just watching animals helps. Okay. So we can get on to sewing this guy on. Again, we're gonna fold the edge. How many? Oh man, uh, like I've caught. I don't like to really brag or anything because like I trap, but like I'm not like I know guys that'll catch, a couple hundred raccoons in a year in Pennsylvania, which uh, you know, that's pretty difficult to do. I've caught 50 raccoons in a year. That was when I tried really hard to do that with, uh, 55 traps I think I had out over the course of a few weeks. I actually think I had like 60 that year. Uh, not I was just the 50 I just count because that I was targeting raccoons with those sets. You always end up with one or two in mink sets or whatever, but I'm not going to count those in that count. But anymore, I go out and I catch. Well, this year I caught 4 or 6 raccoons, something. I don't even know. I can't remember. They're all put up and stuff, but uh, a red fox, a gray fox, a skunk, several possums. I wasn't going at it very hard this year. Uh, that was like, I don't know, 30 sets maybe on 2 properties. Uh, Pennsylvania, I have one video that is in, well, I have 2 videos that took place in Idaho. Uh, that was like a wedding gift from my dad kind of thing. Um, actually, if you there's that bear that's in the corner, that's a bear skin. I got that in Idaho. Okay. Yeah. What part of Pennsylvania? I might have to go to the other needle. This thing's a little bit hard to control. All right. Once you get the thing started, I don't know if you've heard of a small town called Shippensburg. Man, I'm trying to think. That sounds familiar. I'm like, I don't want to say like exactly where I live or anything because you just never know. Uh, but like, I'm between Pittsburgh and Erie, like on like a straight line between the two. I'm somewhere in between there. I could just tell you which district I'm from in the Pennsylvania Trappers Association, and then you guys can just go and look it up. But yeah, between Pittsburgh and Erie, the place that got absolutely pounded with snow, like it was like national news coverage, I guess. Yeah, I think last week I had, I don't know, 14 inches of snow in my yard. And we got it in like 2 days. It was pretty crazy. But if Lake Erie doesn't freeze, then we get a bunch of lake effect snow. Which, for you people that don't live next to a Great Lake, it's like, I don't know. Most people would probably be like, it's blizzard conditions, and it's I don't. I've lived here my whole life, so it's like, oh, you get 14 inches of snow in a day and a half. It's like not that big of a deal. But it's almost all gone now. It turned to rain like in the past 2 days and gone. But we'll get more snow for sure. Usually, like February and January, February are usually the big time. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about lake effect snow. Like it just like you have your lake, and if it doesn't freeze, all that it goes up into the clouds, and then it just dumps it. Like usually within 50 miles of the lake or so. Maybe a little further. But yep, it can get pretty crazy. It's not as bad as it used to be with everything. Let's see. we're almost done with this stitch across the top to attach that. And actually, I'm not even really sewing into the fur on that. I'm just kind of attaching it to the liner on the bowl part of the hat. And actually, depending on how long this takes and stuff, might actually start on a Red Fox hat. My first Red Fox hat, that's the second hat that I made, it got singed on the front because I was lighting a fire. Well, it wasn't lighting a fire. I was lighting a propane heater, and it singed all the. Well, it singed a bunch of hair, and it just doesn't look right, and it bothers me. So I do have a good Red Fox, and I don't know if you guys who are watching this, uh, I caught a gray fox last last month, and I'm gonna take that to the tannery, and I might ask him because well, I don't see why it wouldn't. Maybe I'll film that taking the fox to the tannery because I don't have time to tan right now. And I don't know. I gotta see what time it is. If you're watching this in the future and you've made it this far, you should consider subscribing. I guess it's been 20 minutes. We're just finishing up this hat. Any of you new people? It's a Fisher skin. Fishers are pretty neat animals, for those of you that don't know. They're a medium sized arboreal weasel that mostly feeds on squirrels. There's some pretty good videos of them on YouTube. I posted a trail camera video of one a few weeks ago. The season for these guys comes in a couple weeks, week and a half. We'll be going out and filming some of that. Big thing is fresh baits and strong lures. Don't go crazy with the lures. And scouting, you gotta know where they're at if you're gonna catch them. And the weather plays a part as well. Uh, the colder, the better. If we get ice cold nights down in the teens, that's good stuff. If it gets down into the teens. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to get down into the teens, but it definitely helps. No doubt about it. But you gotta have. Oh, damn it. I messed up this seam. I'm gonna have to pull a few threads. That's the nice thing about this artificial sinew. When you screw something up, you can use the needle. And pull your screw up apart. Gotta go a little further. I got too crazy with that fold. Probably should have cut these just a hair bigger. A little bit more. Gonna pull probably 3 more stitches. So, if person that's watching, if you're a hunter, have you had a good season? Because I've had an okay season. If anybody's watching, and even if you're watching this in the future and you've had a good season this year, you should tell me about it. I like to hear about it. So we're going to get back to stitching away at this thing. Fixed my screw up. Didn't leave myself enough fabric on the other side. That's all right. I could enter something like this in the fair, I guess. But I'm not. I'm probably not good enough at this sewing business to really do that. Because they're going to grade you on that. My stuff won't come apart, but it might not be the prettiest thing ever. At least not the stitches. And this is pretty easy for anybody to do at home. The hard part is probably the tanning. I mean, if you can't acquire the animal skin on your own, that's going to be the hard part. But that's something you have to learn if you want to do it, I guess. And we're just finishing up this this long stitch. It's not the longest one I gotta do. It's taken me a half an hour to do it. That's probably not real great. But again, I'm not a professional at selling stuff. I can do it. Little hold. So we're going to fold that piece in. And I gotta actually sew to sew to leather on this. You got to be extremely careful because if you poke yourself with that needle, it's a carpet needle, it's a pretty significant needle. It's not going to feel good. Yes, I use my shirt to push the needle through the leather sometimes. Probably shouldn't do that. I might need to. I might need to pin that thing so that it doesn't do that. Okay. So the thing about using like a flannel material is it fur sticks to it. So you gotta kind of watch how you go about that. And once I get this stitch about halfway, well, stitched about halfway across this, it'll be a lot easier. Ooh. Sewing machine would be cool, probably. Well, it is interesting. You have to. Sometimes you have to do things the hard way to appreciate them. Yeah, I was like, when I first took this up, I was like, I'm gonna make a sleeping bag. I'm gonna make a sleeping bag out of raccoons. There's no freaking way. Not without a sewing machine. But man, that would be warm. That would be so warm. You guys that watch these videos I put up, sometimes you don't see the standing out in the cold and rain and camping through thunderstorms and all that stuff. My good friend Zach could tell you guys all about that. I should have him on a live stream sometime. Or I should get talk to people or something about this type of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I might this is taking me a little bit. I might get this part done. Probably call it a night on this. Thought maybe I could get the whole hat done tonight, but I'm probably gonna have to finish it tomorrow on my breaks at work. It is 90% done though. How's everybody doing? For those of you that don't know, we're working on a hat. It's made from a fisher that I caught. It's got the tail and everything on it. And we're in the home stretch basically on this. I could show the other hats I made, I guess. There's a raccoon, like the typical. There's no face on this one, but yeah, I like that hat. It's warm, unbelievably warm. And then this is the one that I need to replace because I singed the front of it. I mean, you can tell that the front's kind of looking, but yeah, this is Red Fox, and it was the second hat that I made, and it's probably my least favorite of the three. It doesn't fit very good. I need to try again on that. And actually, the fox that I'm planning on probably using for that is this guy. It's missing a leg, ripped off during the skinning process, or actually the drying process, and gone. But this is a very nice fox. Probably, I can't remember when I caught this one either, but it was probably a winter catch. So it's going to be awesome. An awesome replacement for the one that got burnt. And of course, I'll have this Fisher hat, which it is got all the traditional stuff, the face and everything. If you're watching this in the future and you've made it this far, definitely subscribe, because I'm not always doing this kind of thing. You'll see, well, soon we're going to be trapping fisher. I'm allowed to catch one. So I will hopefully be doing that. And this is going to be the last stitch I do on stream. Unless you guys want to keep watching. Looks like there's a few of you watching now. But yeah, fisher season's coming, so we'll be out after them pretty hard, as hard as I can go. Which maybe someday I'll be allowed to catch more than one. But that's all that's going to have to do for now. And I guess with that being said, I didn't really get the hat finished. But, well, by tomorrow it'll be done. I may as well put it on because everybody's wondering what it looks like. Again, if you are make sure I don't stab myself. And again, these ear flaps, it actually came out pretty nice. But yeah, with that being said, subscribe. I have a whole library of videos you can watch. Probably the next video is going to be fisher related. We might do some cold weather fishing soon, so we'll see what all that entails. Until next time, guys, be safe, and I'll see you around.